Hi Quilty friends, and welcome to my little spot and podunk. My name is Leanne, and today we're going to be making this really cute kitten block that's in a stocking. Now most of the blocks so far in this series have been 12-inch blocks. This one, however, is just a little bit narrower and a little bit longer. So at the end of this video, I will give you a couple different options for using this quilt block. I won't be giving you the pattern, but I'll be giving you ideas of what you can do with them. Now, normally I have my pieces all labeled, but there's so many little tiny pieces that I decided not to do that. I will be telling you the size of the pieces and the letter that's associated with it on the PDF. So before we get started, for those of you who like to just screenshot the measurements, I'm going to put some measurements in here real quick. There'll be two different slides and there'll be 5 seconds apiece, so you'll want to pause, take a screenshot, and play and do the same again. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is do all the diagonal seams first. Like up here on the ears, these call for diagonal seams. So I'm going to go through and do all the diagonal seams, then we'll change out our presser foot to a 1/4 inch foot and do all the other seams. Up at the top, we have fabric B. It's this one right here, and it's 2 inches by 5.5. And then we have 2 fabric I's, 2 inches by 2 inches. So we're just going to grab both of those. And what we're going to do is we are going to sew from corner to corner here and corner to corner here. Let's turn this around this way. And I've got right sides together. And we're going to put the needle right at the corner of the square. And then we're going to put this corner of the square on this middle line. Now this is Cluck Cluck Sew diagonal seam tape, and I will link to it below. Of course, you don't have to have this tape. You can just put a piece of tape on the bed of your machine and draw a line, or you can draw a line right on the fabric. I just choose not to do that because it's quicker to use the lines on the bed of my sewing machine. So we'll sew that line down the middle and then bring this one around and do the exact same thing over here. Lining up that square with the ends of the rectangle. Lining up the square with the needle back here and the square here. Now once I make that first couple of stitches right there, I no longer look at that needle. I'm looking right here to make sure that the corner of my square stays right there on that line. Okay, now we're just going to clip those off of there. And we're going to cut on the outside of the line we just sewed. About a 1/4 inch away, give or take. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, then those are just trash. We'll press those little ears out. Now, if you want to press your seams open, you are more than welcome to do so. I just prefer for my seams to be pressed outward. Okay, so there's our little ears. Next, we're going to do the cat face. And what we have here is fabric J. And J is 4 by 5.5. And then we have 2 fabric, let's see, what is that? C. And C is 2 inches by 2 inches. And we're going to do the same thing, sew in a diagonal seam. And you'll want to put those right sides together. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut those corners off, about a 1/4 inch away from this line we've just sewn. And then I'm going to press those in towards the face. Now, I normally mention or talk about my fabric before we get started, and I didn't do that this time, so now it's just as good a time as any to do that. This red fabric right here, this is an older fabric by Lake House Dry Goods. I don't know the name of it or what line it came from because it's scrap. And then I have this fabric here. This is actually a Waverly fabric from Walmart. And we've got this fabric here. It's a Lori Holt fabric. And I think that's from the line, oh, I know it, hang on, Autumn Love. And then the background fabric is a Be Basic by Lori Holt as well for Riley Blake. Okay, so moving right along. The next thing we're going to do is work on those little tiny kitten feet. Aren't they adorable? Right over here, you see those? And that's what this is. So I've got these stuck in here with the pin, and I'm just going to pull them out, those fabrics. And for each little foot, we're going to need, I'm going to bring it down here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, what I have here is 2 1.5 inch squares, and those are letter M. And I've got 2 more over here, it's letter M, and then these are 1.5 by 2, and those are letter K, and there's 2 of those. Okay, and what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to sew corner to corner. Now I'm going to reduce my stitches a little bit to 1.8 because these are kind of small pieces. And we're going to make this little kitty cat some paws. Of course, she's declawed, so she don't tear nothing up. Okay, and I'm just going to come over here and get the other one and do the same thing. Now, I know sometimes these little pieces can seem kind of scary, but don't let them scare you. It's just a smaller piece of fabric, and it doesn't take as long to stitch it. It goes a lot quicker. Think of it that way. Just because they're tiny doesn't mean they're hard. Okay, and just like with the other pieces, we're going to cut those a 1/4 inch away from the outside. And since there's going to be another seam here, I'm actually going to press these open, which rarely happens, but we're going to do it today, guys. Pressing that seam open. Now, if you want to hit these with an iron, you're more than welcome, but I'm just not one of those people who likes to use an iron. My fabrics are starched, so I think I'm going to be okay. So what we're going to do is put the next little squares on top. And this time we're going to sew from this corner to this corner. Okay, now we're going to fold that back and see there's our little kitten paw. Oh, and we'll cut those off about a 1/4 inch away. Mine's a little bit less, but I tend to do that when I'm cutting. All right. And this time I'm going to press that seam out. And now our little kitty has some paws. How cute is that? Oh my goodness. All right, let's go down here and pick up this bottom piece. This large red piece is letter Q, and it is 9.5 by 6.5. And then I have 2 background fabrics that are 3.5 by 3.5, and this is letter F on your PDF. And then down here in the corner is a 1.5 inch square, and it is letter G. So we're going to sew a diagonal line here, and a diagonal line here, and one here. Okay, now we're going to cut those away. And something that you could do if you want to, and I'm just going to go back and sew mine again later, but you could sew another seam a 1/2 inch away from the sewn line, and then cut between those two sewn lines, and you'll have a bonus 1/2 square triangle for another project. But just for time's sake, I am not doing that. I will sew them together after I get done. And then this one's just really too small to save. I use these, cut them up and put them in a trash bag, and I will be making a dog bed out of them for my cute little puppy dog. I'll put a picture right around in here somewhere of my cute little puppy dog. She's not little, but she's cute. We sure do like her an awful lot. Okay, and I'm going to take these and press them towards the red, just because the red is the darker fabric. And then we'll change out our foot and start putting this block together. All right, and there's the bottom of our stocking. Now I'm going to change out my presser foot to a 1/4 inch foot, which is brand spanking new. I'm really excited about having a new 1/4 inch foot. My other one broke. Look at it, it's all shiny. Looks like it's been polished. Like new chrome on a car. Okay, we're going to put together the cat head up here. Okay, instead of cutting that, I think we'll go ahead and put together this little piece right here. Oh, no, before we do that, we got to sew these little pieces down at the bottom, right here. And this is piece N. And N is 1 inch by 1.5, and there's one at the bottom of each little kitty cat paw. Now I think we'll go ahead and cut those apart. All right, and I'm going to press that down towards that little white piece N. And put it up there and get ready to sew it on. And there. All right, and we'll just press this one down towards the cat face. And now we need to put together this top unit. So we're going to flip that over on top of there and just sew it on there. All right, I forgot to mention that this is piece A, and piece A is 4 inches by 5.5 inches. Now we're going to reach up here and get piece B, and B is 2 inches by 5.5 inches. All right, and we're just going to press that seam out and put the top portion back up there. All right, now we're going to sew together the top of the stocking. And we'll just start from over here. We've got piece D, and it's a 2.5 by 2.5 inch square. And then we have 2 of these, and those are L, and L is 1.5 by 2.5. And then in the center we have O, and it's 2.5 by 4.5. I'm just going to come up here and grab this side, start sewing this side together. All right, and then we've got one more piece here. I want to sew these two together. And let's press this one to the dark. And we'll press this one to the solid white, or the solid piece of fabric, which is white. And that would go there. And then this one we're going to press out towards the middle. Oh, nope, see, that goes there. And that goes there. I almost did that wrong. I got it though, you guys. I got it. Okay. I'm going to sew this one here. I've got a little fullness in that one. So can you see that? See how that's sticking out right there? So what I'm going to do is measure it on my table here and see which piece is actually off. And it's probably, yeah, it's the sewn piece that is off a teeny bit. So what I'm going to do is just trim that up a smidgen. There we go. Alrighty. Then we'll just press it in towards that solid white, like that. Turn this back around and sew this on over here. Okay, and we will press it out towards the white and stick it up here like so. Now we can go ahead and sew the stocking to the kitty cat head. Whoops. Okay, I think we're going to press that up, or you can press it open, whichever you want. Press it up towards the cat, and then put it right back up there. Okay, next we're going to sew these two pieces together, and what we have is E, and E is 5.5 by 3.5, and then we have the P fabric, and it's 6.5 by 5.5. We're just going to fold that over and sew it on there. I'm going to press that out towards the background fabric. I'm going to put that up there like so, and then fold it down and sew it to the stocking toe. We're almost there. Yay! Okay, let's press that up towards the top of the stocking like that. Let's go up there and get piece H, and piece H is 11.5 by 1.5, and just put it right over here on the side and stitch her in place. Okay, and we'll press it out, the outside, put it up here. Ta-da! We just got to sew the top on like this, and she will be done. Oh my goodness, guys, it's so exciting. I think this is the cutest block yet, but y'all are going to love the next one even better. So you're going to make sure that you come back next Wednesday for the next block. And so you don't miss it, you might want to hit that little subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time I put out a new video. And hit that like button. That like button is the most important thing. That's a little thing that you can do that helps me out a lot, that allows me to keep continuing to do what I do. All right, let's press it down towards the stocking. Oh my gosh, I could just make a whole quilt full of these. It's going to be hard not to. I got other things to do right now. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Is that not just adorable? Okay, I told you I would give you some images of some quilts that I worked up in a computer program. So here they are. Here's one. It's a welcome banner, and it's 3 of these blocks. And doing some applique. Of course, I'm not going to give you any measurements. And then here we have a table runner. And one table runner is just a cat on each end, and you can put whatever color fabric you wanted in the middle. But I took last week's block and put it in the middle. Look at this. Isn't that cute? Yeah, so there's some option, guys, and make sure you come back next week. I've got something even cuter. Until next time, guys, I hope you stitch up something sweet. I love you. Bye-bye.